Regarding Indigenous practices that strengthen resilience in addressing climate crisis, Anishinaabe or Indigenous knowledge is one way Anishinaabe people begin to answer these difficult questions. Anishinaabe exists in a variety of forms. This can include Adsokanen, which are legends or teachings, Dabaj which are stories of everyday life, Naknagewin, which is natural law, and Anishinaabemowin, which is our language. Through connecting to these things, we can first answer questions like, where do I come from? Who am I? Why am I here? And where am I going? First, being able to answer these important questions gives us resilience. Further, in Anishinaabemowin, the term for resiliency is Shkoadzwin. This term combines the concept of strength, Shkauziwin, and knowledge, Oadzwin. To me, this means resiliency is a reflection of our knowledge, which we get through our Adsokanen, our legends, Dabaj our stories, Naknagewin, our law, and Anishinaabemowin, our language. But it's also a reflection of strength, which is to act on our knowledge, to reflect on and implement the strategies that we can derive from our Anishinaabe or our Indigenous knowledge. One of my favorite stories about how we can demonstrate resiliency comes from my home, and it was taught to me by both Joe Petwanakwit and my grandfather, and it's about the beaver, or a mick, and how the beaver demonstrates resiliency. When a beaver is faced with a crisis, and in the context of the beaver that's running water, it does not take a beaver long to act on their knowledge. When a beaver hears running water, for the beaver, it's faced with a crisis, and it doesn't take long for that beaver to address that creek or stream and have a dam. Sometimes a dam is built overnight. When a beaver does this, that can actually promote life and biodiversity. When you start with a small creek or a stream, it can support life for small insects, for some plants, fish, frogs, etc. But when that beaver dams a creek or a stream, it can sometimes create a small lake. Such a lake could support more life, more fish, insects, frogs, snakes, birds, plants, and even people. From this example, we learn the importance of implementing our skills and our knowledge for the benefit of creation and all living things. It's one thing to learn something, it's another thing to implement it. Personally, the beaver motivates me to share what I know, whether that's Anishinaabemowin, so my language, or stories with my peers and future generations. Another strategy for resilience that's important to me is to be on the land or with creation. For example, when I make maple syrup with my family, I'm taught respect, reciprocity, and not to take more than I need. And this is done through interactions with Ziogmede, which is the word for maple syrup, Ninatik, which is the maple tree, or Dinoendagnak, my family. When I fish, I learn patience, respect, and to be at peace or balance in creation through interacting with the Gigonyak, which is the fish, or Nibe, the water. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, by being on the land, we're taught humility, that we are not always in control of creation as humans. Elements like the wind, Nodin, the rain, Gimiwan, the thunder, Nimki, or the water, Nibe, can quickly change our plans and our outlook when we're on the land. And therefore, we must learn to be in harmony or balance with all of these things. To me, this is the foundation of how we understand and act on climate crisis as Anishinaabe people. Miigwech.
Our relationship to the land is the greatest relationship of all. Mother Earth is our one true teacher. From the very moment when a child takes its first steps on the grass, when we play outside and are covered in dirt, when we feel the cool, fresh air running across our chubby cheeks and the sun beaming at us, radiating love, when we touch the water for the first time and splash the medicine at our friends, she teaches us every single day from our very first steps here on earth. And it becomes very difficult to watch our mother brutalized, abused, and mistreated. Nothing we can say or do will stop the violence, but we must try. Because it's not simply choosing not to, but it's waking up every day and having to. It's why we've been sent here by Creator, to take care of each other and to take care of Mother Earth. She is what keeps us alive. She is what will keep our next generations going. And she will teach our future to be strong. Like she taught me, and like she's taught us all.
Understanding the importance of relationships that exist in creation is an Indigenous principle that can help the need to address climate change. As part of our identity, we identify a relationship not only to the land that we come from, but also to our spirit animals, always looking for a connection to something in creation. These relationships could be a man's relationship to the fire, a woman's relationship to the water, or a hunter's relationship to the animals. We understand that these relationships exist everywhere in creation. These relationships are often depicted on a circle to demonstrate the level of balance or equal importance of all things included. It is important to not simply identify these relationships, but also understand what is being provided through them. To understand that although these relationships may not be able to walk and talk, they are still beings, living spirits, alive in this world alongside us. We need to view Mother Earth as not an object or a possession, not as something that can be owned, but as family, which is exactly what she's referred to as, a mother. Someone that provides for us, nurtures us, and also teaches us. Without Mother Earth and her gifts, we would not have all that we know. We need to remember that all of creation falls within this circle, and will always need a level of balance and support, and understand the give and take that is being provided. Whether we speak of animals, man, water, the spirit world, all of these things deserve to be treated with the utmost level of respect and love. Understanding our world as a being, a spirit, a mother, is a perspective that would benefit all of relations in understanding. Miigwech.